quite easy getting in here. Well, it is. So, hi guys, welcome to another episode of Survive the Wild with me, Dan. I wanted to do this video a good while ago. It was sort of meant to be a little bit like, you know, if you were stuck in your truck or car, whatever vehicle you have in the winter and you got snowed in. We haven't really had much snow. We might, possibly, get some in a few weeks. It's a big might because it's a few weeks out. But I thought I'd run through a few things, you know, that are good to have, or a good idea to have with you over the winter months. Let's say up here in sort of like the North Midlands. I'm in the Peak District at the moment. Usually this time of year there's snow lying around, but not this time. But so I'll crack on. A few things. So yeah, if like here in the UK, nearly every year we do get some sort of significant snow somewhere in the country, and it's always the same thing in the news stories where people get stuck, stranded in the vehicle overnight, or quite a lot of the time they abandon the vehicle. But if you haven't got that option, say if you're in the in the Peak District, the Lake District, up in Scotland, you could be on a country road, you could be, you know, miles from anywhere. If you haven't got good boots, well prepared for the weather, then you're best off making, you know, your vehicle your shelter. And there are a few essential pieces of kit that you can carry with you to make that evening or that day and evening maybe a little bit more bearable. So I'll run over a few things in a second, and yeah, we'll go on from there. You'll have to excuse the wind a little bit because it's windy, but there's not a lot I can do about the weather. So one of the first things you're going to have to look at with your vehicle is having good tyres that are capable for the, you know, for the winter. On this one, I've got some good years. These are an all-season tyre. I know some people don't necessarily rate all-season tyres, but I've been up and down this track when it's been icy with a little bit of snow, and they've handled fine. And I've been on when we've had a few icy days with a little bit of slushy snow, and again, I've not had any issue with it. I know a lot of people will have you know, summer tyres on for the winter months. They're no good. You know, they're too soft, or should I say that they're not soft enough, they're too hard. But yeah, so having good tyres are essential. I might be upgrading these tyres once I've worn them out, something a little bit more rugged, but that's more for the off-roading part of things than anything else. But yeah, if you there's one little trick, if you didn't know, you could do with your tyres is if you needed to, you can let some air out the tyres. That'll gain you a little bit more traction. Don't let too much out though, and always remember to re-inflate them to the proper pressure afterwards. But they'll just increase the surface area a little bit if you just let, like say, 15-20 psi out max, depending on the psi rate for your tyres. I tend to run these at close to the top end, so these are running at 40 psi. Can go up to 50, but that's more if I'm on the motorway. Another good one is snow chains. I don't actually have snow chains. Don't necessarily need them in a 4x4, but even I know some places like in Norway, I think even Sweden, even if you've got a 4x4, and even France, if you're going to some of the ski resorts, they're a mandatory thing. You have to have them. They are a good thing. One thing I would definitely advise though is that you practice putting them on before the weather sets in, so that you get an idea of how they go on. So when you're having to put them on and you're in the slush and you know the weather's bad, you know you've got to not having to faff around trying to figure out how to do it. So that's one essential thing, and then we'll move on to what you can carry. Oh, nice to get out of the wind a little bit actually. So a few essentials to carry with you for yourself and for the vehicle. One being, even if you don't necessarily get stuck, traffic might be a big issue and you might be stuck in traffic for a long period of time. When that happens, engines have a tendency of overheating because especially older cars, because they rely on air passing over the radiator to cool the water down. So carry at least a gallon of water. That's just for the car. Carry also drinking water for yourself, because you know you might be out for hours. You don't know, you might end up spending the whole night out here, so maybe it might be an idea to carry just as much water for yourself. Other essential is a snow shovel of any kind. This is like a telescopic type. It's been sat in here now for a while, but kind of see. So, you know, even though I'm in a 4x4, depending on the roads, you might need to shovel yourself out. You might need to, you know, just shift some snow from around your tyres. So you can either have this type of shovel, you can use a military style folding shovel, which is probably a good idea to maybe have both, because if you've got ice, then, I mean, you can't hack at ice with this, but with like a military metal or a, you know, metal style shovel, you can chip away at the ice. That's one other essential I would definitely have, just to help you get out of any sticky situations. Another one is tow rope. Now, this could either be for someone helping you, giving you a tow, or if you need to help somebody else give a tow. This one is rated to 3.5 ton. My vehicle is just over 2.5 ton. But if you get something that's rated above, then it's less likely to snap, because you don't know whether somebody, you know, they might have to quickly tug you. That's going to put an awful lot of extra strain initially on the tow rope. So having something that's higher rated than what you actually need is going to be beneficial. And if you need to help somebody out, I can pull somebody out that's up to 3.5 ton. I'd probably sort of like call it quits at around about maybe 3 ton. But that's a good sized truck that I can pull out, or someone can pull me out. So that's things for your truck. You can other things you can carry is maybe grit that you can throw under the tyres. That will help give you more traction. There are other things like snow carpets and various platforms and different things that you can put in, but you don't necessarily need to go into all that. Another one, this is for you, is shove it up here for the time being, is a sleeping bag. Now, some people might just put a little blanket in the car. That's not necessarily going to be enough. This isn't the best rated winter sleeping bag, but it's the best one I've got, and that's sort of sat in the car permanently. So if I had to spend the night in here, you know, I can snuggle up in that. You know, I could even lay out in here. You know, I can fold the back seats down and I can lay out, but a lot of people probably won't have that luxury. So just get into the passenger side if you're on your own. pull the seat right back, climb into this, take your boots off, maybe try and warm your body up a little bit before you get in the sleeping bag so you can help retain that heat. But definitely one to have. I also have a rain jacket in here permanently, just in case. If, unlike me, you tend to wear boots most of the time, it's worth having, maybe just chucking in an old pair of boots that are waterproof. If you do have to like start walking around and you're on your way back from work and you've just got silly shoes on that aren't ideal, then you know they'll be a lifesaver. Stop your feet from getting wet and freezing cold for a start. So then you can also then go on to, next one would be bring more food with you. Bring extra food that you might need. Go for high calorie stuff like chocolate, because those calories you're going to need to help your body produce the heat that it needs to keep warm. Sorry if you're getting a little bit blinded by the sun. It could be that you just take, you know, before you go on your journey, whether you're going to or from work, just put a flask in of hot water, or you could make some coffee, or a soup flask, put some soup in there, you know, just so you got some warmth. Because I've got the kit, you know, I've got in here 16 centimetre billy can, a little gas bottle. I would say don't necessarily use, I've just got this in here because me and the missus were out the other week, or earlier last week. If I was going to get a gas bottle and it was, you know, it's going to be cold, these don't work particularly well when they're cold, they have to be warm. And you can get one that's a mixture of butane and propane, and they work a lot better. I think they work down to about -22, so most places in Europe you're going to be okay. Although it does get, I know it does get a lot colder. So I've got the ability there to make hot water. I can heat food up. You know, just putting some rice or pasta, instant noodles, that sort of thing in there, like I would do if I was camping. And you know, that's that. I mean, you could be fancy, you know. I've got, depending on your vehicle, I've got an electric point at the back here. I could actually plug a kettle in there. I'd only use the kettle if I was running the engine, and but that's another thing, running the engine. You know, you can run the engine to keep yourself warm, use the climate controls in your vehicle, but if you're doing that a lot, then you're going to run out of fuel. So that's also another good one, is carrying some extra fuel with you. This is a 10 litre jerry can. Well, it's not really a jerry can, but most people call them jerry cans. I can fit 10 litres of diesel in this, so that's, you know, that's a good extra amount of fuel I can carry. But I would want to rely on my sleeping bag firstly to keep me warm. If I started feeling cold, run the engine for no longer than maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, get till the engine gets up to temperature, put the heating on, just warm the vehicle up again and then turn it off, and then try and get some sleep while it's warm. You might have to do that a few times through the night, you know, it depends. But you know, they're essential bits of kit for the winter, basically. So, but hopefully, you know, you'll never have to be in that sort of situation. But if you do, now you know a few things. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. If this is the first time you're watching, click subscribe, please. Shed loads of videos to watch. You know, go on some of the playlists, have a look round. Click the little notification button, gives you a little bit more of a chance of getting a notification when I put videos out through YouTube. I know they've been a bit bit rubbish with it lately, but it'll give you a little bit more of a chance. So I know some people have messaged me saying you've not been getting an email through or anything, no notification through saying we're putting out videos. That'll give you a little bit of a better chance. Anyway, I'm going to head up this track and yeah, enjoy the rest of my day off. That wind, man. Actually, I tried filming a bit further up, but it was just way too windy. Even trying to use the truck as a shield wasn't working. I had to come down and get a little bit of cover. But yeah, hey ho. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.